Hey everyone, welcome back to Savour Local Eateries on the East End. I am so excited for today's discussion with my dear friend Aki with Aki's Kitchen. How's it going?
It's going well. If you gotta give me 1 second. I'm already
Okay.
baking muffins. I did a
Ooh.
jump start. So let me get something out of the oven. I think this. I'm not sure if you can see me or not.
It's okay. I wish this is smell-o-vision so I can smell the muffin, so I can smell it.
I think these came out a little. They look like almost a little bit burned. I'll go like this for a second. I'm gonna let them cool off.
Okay.
And I'm gonna show you the other ones that came out a few minutes ago. Today we're making muffins in all sizes, but I'm also going to bake a few with you. I decided to make apple cinnamon muffins. These are the little ones. Can you see that?
Ooh.
They're like one biters, I guess.
Yeah.
Cute. They're really sweet, like for in the morning with your coffee or on the road or, you know. And I made these gluten-free, so that it's easier for people who can't have gluten, obviously, to be able to enjoy them.
Now, Aki, tell us, so some of the viewers, they may not know who you are. So tell us a little bit about you, Aki, like how you started a little bit, because I know Aki's Kitchen is soups, salads, sweets, and juices now.
Yes.
So share
And,
with the viewers a little bit more about you.
So we can let's talk about the soups first a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about the soups.
Which is really part of me. I have always had a big love for soup. It's something that's part of me growing up. It's been something that's been on my table basically every day. I grew up in Belgium. Belgium, I think people eat maybe more soup than here. It's something that's very, I think, common. And then going a little bit fast forward, it's something that I've had in me for a long, long time. I come from a different background. I actually come from the jewelry trade. And it's been with me for a long time, wanting to share, I guess, my food or my passion. And we managed to move from Connecticut to here to Long Island. And a couple of years ago, it's 3 years ago, a little bit more than 3 years probably. And from one thing to another, I felt that being out here, I was given the opportunity to maybe try, and it's already more than trying now, we're doing this, to put my soups together and get them out and have people enjoy them. But I wanted to do something that like covers a little bit more than just soup. So I said salad and sweets. I think baking is very therapeutic. I think especially like right now, I have a feeling that everyone is like baking.
Yeah.
You can't find yeast in the store. You can't find flour in the store. But I think it's a good thing. Baking keeps you a little bit focused, I would think, because you have to be a little bit more precise. Whereas I guess my soups and my salads, it's more playful. If you don't have this ingredient or that ingredient, it's easier. So I'm going to start while we're talking. I'm going to continue baking so that we get something going here. Today, in here, I don't know if you want to see this or not, we have a little bit of a cream butter with some lemon zest and some sugar. Can you see this? Can you see us?
I can.
All right. So I'm gonna make a little bit of noise.
But you're also so you basically you're set up at the Easton Food Institute. That's how we met.
Yes.
And it's a campus. It's a food campus. It's a campus for food producers like yourself.
There's I guess it's called an incubator kitchen.
Yes.
So you rent it by the hour. I will be there at some point this week. And this is where I produce my food. This is where I make all of my soups.
Yes.
It's a really interesting thing because I was very scared in the beginning, like as I had never done this before. It was a little bit, I think, overwhelming, but everybody was very welcoming. When I say like it was a little overwhelming, when you don't come from the trade, like I feel like in the jewelry trade, people, it's like usually a family business, and it stays within a family. I feel that in the food industry, it's like maybe kind of the same. I'm not sure. I feel that it's somebody, most chefs, like they started at a very young age. They they had a father or mother or grandmother, somebody like in the industry. If it's not a retail store, then it's a chef, or like, um, does it make sense? Like what I'm trying to say? It's
Yes,
like,
yeah.
um, so when I walk into the kitchen, as I'm not a professional chef, it yeah, it felt a little overwhelming. But then, once you get going and people help you, and you learn as you go. Of course, I got licensed.
Yes.
I got to do everything you need to do to be in the kitchen. But it's a very cool atmosphere.
Yeah.
It really is. It's very pleasant to be surrounded by people that are creative. You watch what they do, you learn from them. I guess they learn from you as well. Everybody brings something to the table. So
I love that. Everyone brings something to the table.
everybody brings something to the table. It's just,
Yes.
I really believe in. And I met Kate Fulham from the Eastern Food Institute, and she helped, push me a little bit, including my husband. And so here we are, about a year and a half later. And let me get the eggs in here so we can get.
Yes, yes.
So yes, but I think it's an amazing experience so far. I do want to say that these eggs, they come. I don't know if you can hear me. They come from 1760 Homestead Farm.
Ooh,
Uh,
local.
it's they're lovely people. They're wonderful eggs. They also grow vegetables. They grow plants. They grow flowers. And I will be spending more time being there this spring and hopefully this summer as well. So you'll be able to find me there most likely a couple of days a week. So we're working on that.
And where are they located? I know they're local, but how local are they?
It's still like Riverhead. I
River.
feel
Okay.
a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, it's on Sound Avenue.
Okay.
I just drive up there. Like I'm not even sure. There's still so many places out here that like I know where it is, but I don't like memorize the address. I go
Oh, it's
by
okay.
car and go. But everybody can look it up. 1760 Homestead Farms. Look like this. Yeah, you don't have that much space in this kitchen.
So that's
kitchen.
so I know now that since everything's going on and you're doing deliveries, so
Yeah,
you're
we started. So through the East End, my soups are available through their online store,
which is
which I think
wonderful.
that needs to be replenished most likely. Um, and we are also doing a drive-through at the Spur this coming Sunday. I'm working on the online store.
Ooh.
So I think by tomorrow night, hopefully, there'll be a link on my Instagram page and Facebook page for people to be able to order the soups and some sweets and some juices as well. And hopefully, which I forgot to say, we partnered with Eat Honestly,
Ooh.
and they are on their website. If you go to their pantry, you can find our juices. So for people who order their meals, which are really beautiful, they can add our juices to their order. I'm not sure if they have to go on the website. It will show you
Yeah.
when and how it gets delivered. And I'm also currently working on our website.
Yes.
With, I think the lovely Tia. Uh, I think right.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Very exciting. So there's a lot of good things going on for us. And let me see to get these apples going.
What I love about everything is even though during a time like this, a lot of the food producers, the community members are coming together to help
Yes.
each other out. So I love the fact that you're partnering up with Eat Honest and them utilizing your juices, and Easton Food Institute, where you actually prepare your soups and sweets and everything there. So the community members can still support you during this time.
It's I feel that right now there is a lot of support from a lot of people, including Savour TV. I mean,
You.
people are really reaching out. Feel that I'm very lucky that what you call it. I feel I'm very new around here. People have been here for a long time, and I feel that I'm very lucky that people, allow me to join, and that people help out. It's I think it's very important. I really hope that it's something that I will be able to give back once we grow potentially. To be able to do the same for other newcomers or people who need help. I think it's a very important thing. What comes around goes around.
Yes, yes. And since we're touching on what comes around goes around, since right now a lot of people are on the front line, from grocery stores, first responders, nurses, um, anyone that's in the front line right now and they're working hard, since
Yes.
you have sweets and soups, I feel
Yes.
that anyone on the East End, I think this would be a great way for them to give back. So if you have a friend that is call to action and they're doing something and you know where they live, why not purchase something through Aki and have them deliver it to their house, or purchase a gift card and let them know, like, hey, when you're home, you could go ahead and get something sweet and savory or a soup from Aki.
I
So I
think
think
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
no
you.
worries. No, I just
Uh,
think that would be a good initiative for locals. Like they can support you as a food producer, but they can also support people that are actually they're doing things and they're sacrificing themselves during this
Absolutely.
time.
My daughter is a nurse. She works
Yeah.
at Dana Farber in Boston. I think the East End supplies food for probably the Southampton Hospital, or
Yes, and Stony Brook.
but I think especially um, soups is something that is extremely comforting, but
Yeah.
it's also something where I feel, especially if you don't get your vegetables or your vitamins in. Usually soups have so much in them, and it's filling, and it's easy to heat or reheat, um, especially for people that are on the front line. It's I think it's something that's very easy to come home to, and if they have a microwave or on the stove to reheat it. The same is with the sweets. I'm not like a baker, but what I'm making is like, it's I feel it's like comfort food.
Yeah.
It's nothing like shishi. It's just like, it's just yummy,
Yeah.
complicated. It's like, you grab it, and it's like not too sweet, not too this, not too that, but it's just like, it's really good. And so yes, like, I don't think that I'm capable of making, like, I mean, I make fruit galettes in the summer, but again,
Ooh.
it's like something, we got such beautiful produce here on the island. When the fruit is ripe, it's just also something that's very easy to add on. I should maybe weigh this while I'm yakking away, maybe a little bit. Yeah, I don't, even in baking, I don't follow the rules very well, but what can go wrong, right? Nothing's gonna go wrong.
So tell me, where do you get your apples? Do you go to the milk pail? Like, where do you get your apples from?
I had somebody that got me the apples from the milk pail. Yes, you know
Nice.
what? The milk pail has, I dare to say, the best apples. Period. I don't know if it's like whenever I get their apples, it's they just so fresh and so crisp and so tasty. I cut up a little bit too many apples, but that's okay. We'll survive. We'll do something else with the rest. Nothing goes to waste here. That can go in a salad later.
I
Um,
love that.
yeah, it's all good. I What I do feel, saying, like, with the way you bake like muffins, or a pound breads. Do you call it pound bread? So, like, when you make a carrot bread or zucchini bread,
Yeah.
except I guess, like, for the ratio of the flour, um the rest is very playful. I really don't think that you can go very, very like wrong with it. So we're gonna add the apples right now in here in this mix. And I'm very warm because of all the oven going. This. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna add a little bit of baking powder to this. Where do
So
I
will
have?
you be having weekly sweets on your menu?
Yes, yes. So going forward, this whole virus thing and the quarantines, and I I feel on one hand it has allowed me to step back a little bit and to focus on, as I said, on getting the website going, on getting the online store going, which is good. But it has also, I stayed away from the kitchen for a little bit, which I'm about to be back in the kitchen. So as of now, I would be able to add to have a bigger variety, available.
Yeah.
So like this. Let me just throw out the extra salt. Okay, voila. Let's give this another.
Well, I'm excited because I just love the fact that, again, I mentioned partnering up with, I'm really excited to have you on our Savour route. So
This is very exciting for us. If tomorrow is Wednesday already, right?
tomorrow's Wednesday. And we're kicking it off next week, just to let everyone know. Like anyone on the East End, we put together a new website. Well, it's updated website on savourtv.com, and there's a link that's just like the Savour route, and you're able to see what days a week our friends, like for instance, Aki, she lives right on the East End, but she's like an hour from us. Well, no, you're about 30 minutes from Sag Harbor. So anyone that lives in 30 minutes. So anyone that lives in Sag Harbor want to order with us for Sweet Wednesday or Sweet Tuesday, it will come out on Tuesday and go to the house.
I think that's really great, and we can definitely for next week. You will most likely have a selection.
Yeah.
Hopefully there'll be something that people would be very happy to order. I'm also like with produce being a little bit different right now because of the whole certain things are not as available as a couple of months ago or last year. Obviously this is all going to come back and we all going to get to go back to normal. I hope very, very soon. So I'm adapting a few things, so I'm working on that as well. But with a little bit of luck, there will be something, I hope, tomorrow night, for people to look on the store. I've been busy.
Which is good.
I've been busy. I have to tell you, like for me, being in the kitchen, touching food, working with it, and as I said, we're still all, the social distancing. It's a little bit hard, but the biggest pleasure is when you make something and you spend your time doing it, and people enjoy it. I don't think that there's anything more gratifying, than watching people really enjoy, what you make. Cannot be everybody's taste. People don't need to be nasty about it.
It's,
but in general, that's our little Lola. That's the dachshund. In general, I think there's really nothing that's more satisfying. This is part of how I grew up. I want to mention that for a second. Give me 1 second. Growing up, like in my family, especially for my father, he used to be on the road all week, and he would come home on Fridays. And Friday night, we would have the Shabbat. And my mother would make a huge meal, like huge. And my father would also very often bring people back from his trip abroad, like complete strangers to us, just people that he had met throughout the week. And he was a very warm person, very inviting person. He had a very good sense of humor, and he managed to bring literally strangers home. And I think part of his pride and joy was to be able for them to join at the table, to enjoy the meal, to share his food, to share his family and food. And I feel that somewhere in what I'm doing or trying to do is to recreate that same thing. Like, especially now, people who are in need or in any situation, I think it's a wonderful feeling to be able to share your food. You don't need to be a cook or a chef to do it. Like, I feel everyone is capable of sharing, their food. And I think it's something that's very important in general. So I think it's part of the mission of what it is that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Partially, I think I want to try something new here. I think I want to try some raisins in here.
Ooh.
Why not, right? What can happen? Right? What can happen?
A happy stomach.
Yeah, let's see how it goes with the raisins.
I really loved I love your story, Aki, and because it's just
Thank
anyone
you.
can resonate to that, eating around the kitchen table. That's a lot of memories for people all throughout the world. That's a place, that's a meeting. That's like where everyone gathers and shares
It
stories.
really is. It's like, however, if it's an apartment, if it's a house,
Yeah.
big or small, where I come from, like my family, my friends, we always gathered in the kitchen. And while we were having breakfast, we were talking already about lunch or what's for dinner. Food has always been, this such a big center in my family, and I feel that in my current family, it's the same thing. I feel that I'm very done with having a cup of coffee, and it's already like, so what's for dinner? And I'm like, seriously? I just fell out of bed. What do you mean, what's for dinner? It's this constant. Assume we all gonna wait 900.
I do that. I usually say, I'm like, wow, I really think we're gonna have this for dinner tonight. He's like, I just woke up. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
But you know what? But this is how we function.
Yeah.
This is really how we function. Let me go get a muffin tin, and back to you. Let's get this going, and we'll start with the little ones. And it was like making little ones,
Like bite sizes.
to the big ones. Let's see. So yes, I think food brings people together. Especially, a lot of people don't have a chance to travel, for instance, or have never traveled. Some people have never gone to the States, next door. Food really allows you to get a taste of, a different place, a different culture. I grew up very multicultural. I was born in Germany, but I was raised in Belgium. And when my parents moved to Belgium, we moved into an apartment building. And it's making me laugh. Hold on a second. And I will never forget the amount. So I always put a little bit of oil in the scooper so that it's easy to work with. So this is where it disappeared. So the building we grew up in, it had, I think, 7 or 8 floors. Tia, each floor was a family that just immigrated from somewhere. Like, there was only one Belgian family in that house. I kind of almost feel bad for them because the clash of
The culture shock.
food, the culture shock, especially I think,
Yeah.
for them. Now, on that note, I do have to say, I think Belgium is probably one of the best, what do you call it, like probably best food in the world.
Oh,
It's not, it's like French, but it's a little bit different. Um,
I do
the
like Belgian waffles.
food in Belgium is extraordinary. Okay, Belgian waffles, for instance, or the fries, but they known for many things. They're just it's a very small. It's a kingdom, by the way. I don't even know if people know that. It's a kingdom, and the food is phenomenal in Belgium. Wherever you go, you don't need to go to a fancy place to have good food. But to come back to the building that we were in, so the only Belgian family that was there, they lived on the ground floor. And then all the other floors were a combination of Indian families. The first couple of Indian families that moved to Antwerp, that's where I'm from, were in that building. Then there was a family from Canada, there was somebody from Germany, somebody from Israel. So when you would walk into the building, the smell, like you would know, which mother is cooking like what. And then because it was only like eight apartments, and everybody was kind of a new immigrant, people would share their food. So as a young kid, even though I didn't eat much, my mother said I was a terrible eater, and look at me now. um, I got to taste I got to taste such amazing food,
Yeah.
and it always stayed with me. So when, whatever it is that I make, I feel that I always try to incorporate something, from another culture, or it's like, does it make sense what I'm saying?
Oh, it makes sense. It does, because
It's
you want
hard
to
to
give
explain.
people, you're giving people a taste of other cuisines or other cultures, the staple
Of
foods,
other
whether it's the
cultures.
spices or certain ingredients. I am so with you on that. I love
And I
that.
think, and to be honest, I think it's like, it's important.
Hmm.
It's important to share. It's important for people to know that there isn't just like, mac and cheese is not just made with, cheddar cheese. There's actually in Belgium we do something, it's like a ham and cheese bake. Probably at the end of the day, every country or every culture has something similar,
Yeah.
but it has a twist. And I think it's kind of nice, like to get out of the box a little bit.
I
So
remember I remember when I was in Germany. I'm trying to think.
when you were what?
When I was in Germany, I studied abroad for a bit. I thought I told you that. I thought I told you
The Tell me again.
that. So I studied abroad in Germany, and I lived in Dannenberg. It's a very, very small village of 100 people. So when I got there, I made 101. And before we actually got to be with our host family, we went on a tour in Germany and Austria and Switzerland. And I remember one of the cities, it was a very small city in Germany. It's slipping my mind, but we went to, it was an outdoor cafe. I'm sorry.
I would probably know it. I traveled a lot around Germany.
It's ill, like I literally have it all written down, and I'll, like, when we talk again, I'll tell you exactly where it
Yeah.
is. But I remember my friends and I wanted pizza, and I was like, oh, I want pizza too. So we ordered pizza, like in German, but it was a different style of pizza. It had like apples and cinnamon, and there was no cheese. It was like a whole different glaze, and there was I forgot. I think there was like nutmeg and something else. And I looked
Like
at the server, and I was like, "What is this?" They're like, "This is our pizza." And I was like, "Oh."
kind of a strudel, probably.
Yeah, but it was so good. And at that time, I mean, I was 17 and I was allowed to drink anyway over there. So my parents already know this story. Um, so I ordered a Konish, like the beer Konish, and it
Yes.
was so good. So I had beer and pizza, 17 years old, different style of pizza. And I said, this is one of the best pizzas I've ever had. And it's that the apples and cinnamon like marinating together, and the beer was like a light beat, and it just all paired well.
But this is what can go wrong with apples
Apples.
and cinnamon and
Yeah.
it's like you can't go wrong.
No. But the purpose of that story is it's just sharing. Like when I was overseas and comfort food for us, like my friends wanted pizza. I'm like, okay, let's get pizza. That was for them. And then we had a different style of pizza, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I savored every moment. It was awesome.
It's that's the beauty when you have a chance to travel,
Yeah.
that you can actually really, you really get to taste, you get to taste different the different flavors. I think it brings you closer. It brings you closer to the people. I think it brings you closer to understanding where they come from.
Yeah.
And it's even though, at the end of the day we're all the same, but that extra little twist makes things a little bit more interesting. Uh,
Yeah.
so yes, I spend a lot of time in Germany. They It's a very different food. It's very different food. They use a lot of cream. Also, like for instance, in Belgium, everything is based, not everything, but like so much is based. You cook on butter
Yeah.
and you cook with cream, a lot of butter. Like I want to say again, like a lot of butter. It's like butter heaven. Um, so I've changed the base of my soups because I make a few very Belgian style soups. One of them is the watercress soup, which we will have this week. Celery soup is also something, or broccoli leek. We use a lot of leeks in Belgium, but everything is based on butter. And I will say it gives you that extra touch. But for me, I'm using olive oil because if I use butter, people who are vegan cannot eat the soup. So it works, the taste is just as good.
I have to send you my friend's olive oil brand, Mentis Estate. I have to
Sure,
send it to
sure.
you.
Sure.
I'll
I
send
mean,
it to you.
I use it a lot. I mean, I use it
Yeah.
for vegetables. I use it. I'm just going to put this, is this guy ready? Almost. Actually, I'm going to put this in the big oven. Give me 2 seconds. Um,
Yeah, our friend's Mentis
yes.
Estate. His family is from Greece. Actually, he's from Greece. So it's his farm, his family farm. So they have olive oil and Mediterranean sea salt, and it's so good.
Well,
That's all we use at our house is
but
his olive oil and salts.
people say that the Mediterranean cuisine is probably one of the healthiest cuisines. So, as much as butter is like extremely delicious, um, I guess using olive oil is a little bit healthier for you. Mediterranean food is so that's something else that I have, because I have a lot, like I have a lot of Middle Eastern influence
Mm,
in my food. I also, and then I have like kind of the opposite, a little bit of Eastern European
mm,
influence. My father was Polish, and then my mother was Austrian. So it's like such a big mix.
whining. Yeah.
It's really, it's a very big mix, and I was lucky enough, blessed. My mother was an excellent cook.
Yeah.
Um, I think we all have the same. Like, I think we all feel that our mothers were very, very good cooks. Um, my mother was, I think, a different cook because she was an excellent cook that hated being in the kitchen.
Mm,
And normally, it's like weird because food, you have to have the passion. When you have the passion, things come out nicely, and you feel it. She had no passion in the cooking, and she still managed like to put the best meal on the table, which was amazing. She was also someone that used very little ingredients. Everything was very natural. I mean, salt, pepper, but she didn't have a spice cabinet like even like I have today. She really, onion, garlic, salt, pepper. It was the time that she put into it, and I guess the quality of the ingredients. And I think that's something else. I feel that we're very lucky out here. I think we have very high quality product here on the island.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing that like inspired me. That inspired me to, to get to make that step to go into what I really wanted to do, which is prepare food. So I need some like little muffin papers. I have to tell you, the other ones, they came out a little bit dark,
It's okay.
right?
It's edible.
But
And
I'm
it's
sure
going to be
it's edible.
savory and delicious. And
I'm
I can't
actually,
wait to get our order.
I'm gonna check on them in a second. I'm gonna cut them up and see what happened there. So
How can our viewers find you though? Because you said
so
so Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram. I feel like everything I do comes like with a twist. The Instagram account is Aki Goldberg, which is my name. But on Facebook, you will find me as Aki's Kitchen. I think once we'll have the website, all of that is going to be like, a lot easier for everyone to reach out. And hopefully, as I said earlier, people can reach me through my email as well,
Okay.
which is akiskitchenny@gmail.com. And they can reach me via text also through my phone number, which you can see, I think, on my Instagram account as
Yeah.
well as
It's
on my
on
Facebook.
Facebook too. And
Yes.
we're going to have it on our Savour TV site. So if you go under live stream, Savour East End, and click on this live stream, you'll be able to read all about Aki and have her information so you can reach out to her.
So and going forward within the next couple of days, I'm really pushing myself. We will have through Square. There will be the online store will be available. You won't have the entire selection yet, but you will definitely have the juice, some soups, and some sweets as well. So all of this is like, it's like really in the mix. I'm gonna
I'm
cut my
excited for.
little guys open so we can see. Hold on, these are gonna go like this. Something else I've just tried to do with the batter is I kept some of the first batter aside. I want to see how well it freezes. I want
Ooh.
to see if it's something that freezes. And the other thing that I quickly want to say are juices. It's fresh pressed juice, and it's made out of a combination of 6 different fruits. There's no added sugar to it. They will last you in the fridge for up to 5 days. But the beauty of this juice is, and we've tested it many, many times, you can freeze it. It freezes very well. So you can also have it like fresh, like in the morning as you bite. It's really like a vitamin C bomb, but very delicious. And you can also add it on, like if you do brunch, you can mix it with a little bit of prosecco. It's like a beautiful taste, to stretch into a different direction. Can you see how cute these are? Can you see them?
No, raise it up, raise it up. Oh, that's so cute.
Cute, right?
Yes.
I'll taste one. Can I chew and talk at the same time?
Why not?
Super moist. Oh, this is very good.
We'll add that to our order.
Very good. They're really very, very good. I'm gonna start putting the big ones in. And yes, so a lot to do, a lot to conquer, a lot
Yes.
to learn.
Yes.
But like all good, it's very exciting. It's not very exciting. I'm really thrilled that I'm able to do what I've been wanting to do for a long time.
Well, I'm really excited that you invited us in your home, in your kitchen, baking away with us.
Kitchen. Yeah,
And
very different kitchen. Like in the big kitchen, you get to spread out, and the ovens are everything goes fast, but this is like very pleasant. Actually, being able to be home. So.
well, thank you, Aki. Thank you so
Okay.
much for inviting us and sharing your story and your sweets with us today. So everyone, make sure you go ahead and like her pages, Aki's Kitchen on Facebook and on Instagram, Aki Goldberg. And again, we'll have it on our website. You can just like it away. You can reach out to her that way. And if you live in Sac Harbor or East Hampton and Maganza, anywhere like on the East End, definitely check out our website and tune into our Savour route. They're part of Easton Food Institute, so you can check out their store there as well as Honest Plate, right? Honest Plate.
I
Eat
think it's called
honest.
Eat Honestly, and
Well,
it's honest. I think on Instagram it's called Eat Honestly, and
honestly, yeah, that's what I was getting mixed up.
called Honest Plate. They
Honest
really
Plate.
make beautiful food, and
Yeah.
you can find our juices on there as of now. I mean,
And
they're
check
there.
them out on Sunday for the window, like
It's gonna be at the
what's
Spur. You will have to place your order. I think by Friday.
okay.
There's if you go on the website of the Spur, you will find it on there. I think on there you can only currently find my phone number. People can reach out to me via text. It's all
Yeah.
good. I'm like a little bit behind on that one, but and the pickup will be I think between 1 and 2. But if you go to the website for the Spur, you will be able, to find all the information. And again, people can reach out to me directly. It's we can deliver, we can drop off, everything works.
Well, I'm excited to get my delivery soon. So hope you guys will tune in, and I hope you guys give back as well. Thank you so much, Aki, and thank you, you guys. And just remember, check us out tonight. It'll be 7 p.m. Atlanta edition. But thank you, Aki, for being our East End edition.
And I talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
Of course.